Hello YouTube, Kaitlyn here, and do you know how to deal with anxiety? I'm way too anxious to even answer that question. I've had several people commenting and asking me to make a video on how to deal with anxiety. And I was like, well, I already made a video on anxiety, and that's this one over here, but that's about social anxiety. And you're right, there is a difference between social anxiety and just general anxiety. So I've got 6 ways for you to help deal with anxiety. Number 1, determine if what you are dealing with is regular anxiety or harmful anxiety. What I mean by this is that there's a certain amount of anxiety that happens in your everyday life that's normal. It's gonna happen. Like, it's normal if you are anxious about a new situation. Like, say you're getting ready to go into middle school and you're really nervous about this and just feeling really anxious and panicky. Completely normal going into a new situation that's going to cause you some anxiety. It's just a part of life. Now, harmful anxiety comes in when, say, you're going into middle school and you're having out of control panic attacks before you've even set foot in the building. You're just thinking about what might happen and it just is driving you crazy. This is bad anxiety, and if that's the kind of stuff that you're dealing with, then you are going to enjoy these tips. So now to number 2, take control of your anxiety. Think about what is making you anxious. What can you change about it? What is within your control to do something about? And then what is out of your control and you just have to let be? Well, you can't change the fact that you have to go to a new school and meet new people. That's just, it's going to happen. But you can change the way you approach it. Maybe you go to the teacher meet and greet and you go talk to some teachers. They'll be able to help you, make you feel a little bit better about what's gonna happen. Maybe you can meet some new students at that meet and greet. That could also relieve some of your anxiety. Obviously, it's not feasible for you to just be like, I'm going to drop out of school because I don't want to do this new thing. That's not something that you can change. Don't do that. Step number 3, ask for help. This is when you go to your friends and family and you talk to them about what is making you anxious. What's great about asking for help and talking to your friends and family is that they have an outside perspective. The things that are making you super anxious and making you feel like you're gonna go crazy inside, to them may not seem like such a big deal. And they may be able to talk to you about it and give you a different perspective of how things might play out. It's really just great because the person that you're talking to can point out where your anxiety is realistic and also show you where you're kind of letting your harmful, anxious thoughts just go crazy in your head and make you feel awful. So then now you get to step 4, challenge your thoughts. Ask yourself, is what I'm worrying about a real possibility? Or is this just a negative thought that I've been overplaying in my mind and I've let get out of control? In grade school and even in college, I would have a lot of anxiety problems over my homework and just general assignments that I would have because I would really overplay how important they were in the grand scheme of life. It was like if I didn't make a 100, then the world was gonna explode and I wasn't gonna get into college and I wasn't gonna have a good job, and that is not actually true. So is it a real possibility that by getting a 95 or even an 85 on a test or paper instead of a 100, that I'm not gonna get into college, that I won't be able to get a good job, that I won't be able to have a successful life? No. Is that a negative thought that I've been overplaying in my head? Yes. Do you see the common theme here, that anxiety is controlled a lot by your own thoughts? And they seem like they're out of your control, but really they can get back into your control if you are mindful about it and figure out a way to kind of take back that control by thinking about what's real and what's not real. It's like Katniss and Peeta in the Hunger Games. Okay, now to step 5, learn to relax. Have you ever tried deep breathing? Like, that seems so obvious. Like, of course I've tried deep breathing and it hasn't worked, but maybe you haven't tried it properly. If you are having a panic attack, or maybe you are just feeling overwhelmed with anxious thoughts, try to go someplace that's quiet, someplace that's dark even, to kind of dull your other senses. Sit down and just focus on your breathing. Just breathing in and out. Maybe try imagining a really happy place, like a beach or a quiet cabin in the woods, whatever you find calming. Think about all the little details in that happy place while you're breathing. A good relaxer that I learned in a theater class one time is to tighten up parts of your body just a little bit at a time until your whole body is really, really tight, and then to release it slowly from one body part to another. And so this usually starts at your feet and you go up through your legs and then through your torso, your shoulders, your hands, your head, your neck, and then you go back down the opposite way. And you'll find when you're done releasing that tension that you created that you're a lot calmer. You can even try meditating. I can say that I'm not particularly good at this. I find it very hard because of my anxiety, because my crazy thoughts tend to just go in the middle of it. But if you can find a dark, quiet place and to just focus on your breathing with your eyes closed, that can be a form of meditating. Or you can think on one kind of sentence or thought, or even just maybe an image, and just focus completely on that. Let everything else drain away. Just focus on that one thing. So now we're at step number 6, which is to consider medication if steps 1 through 5 have basically done nothing for you. I really consider medication a last resort in terms of anxiety. Not necessarily for all mental illnesses. I'm actually quite supportive of using medication for general depression, but I would really let it be up to your doctor. So if you just feel like none of these other options are working for you at the moment, then go to a doctor, talk about what you've been experiencing, and they may be able to give you a medication that will kind of help relieve some of these symptoms, and then you can use steps 1 through 5 to kind of get back to where you really want to be. That's what I think is important to remember about medication, is that it is not a end-all be-all. You can't just take medication and assume that everything is going to be great. You really can take it to get to a certain point, and then to get to where you really want to be, you need to use steps like relaxation and being able to think yourself out of these anxious thoughts. So there you go. That is how I deal with anxiety, and hopefully it will be helpful to some or all or many of you. And I'm wondering what you guys think. What have I left out? What do you do to reduce your anxiety? Tell me down in the comments, and remember to like, favorite, share, and subscribe if this video made you smile. See you guys next Thursday! I can't touch my lips because I put on lip gloss before I did this video. Blah.